Welcome back, subscribers. It's Johnny Hopper, and let's go WFO on the Grant Langston conspiracy. Well, it's not really a conspiracy because the man himself was on Ping's Instagram Live yesterday and kind of shed light on what really went down. And Ping was nice enough to let me share part of that live stream. So, guys, listen to this. Let me know in the comments below. And the Whiskey Throttle podcast is one of my favorite podcasts. You know, Ping's a good dude. Grant Langston is obviously a good dude. And it's right up there with Cooksey and the Coach and Gypsy. So go check that out and let's grow the community. But without further ado,
a few messages, and one of them was from the guys at Lucas Oil Productions saying call ASAP. So I called, and the reason for that message was they'd obviously tried to reach out to me and said, hey, it looks like a couple people in the TV compound. Now, I don't know the exact number because I'm going off information I've been given, and then that information has been somewhat changed at times. I don't know if it's to dramatize it a little bit more, or if they just found more cases later on. But at this point, there was one or two people that had tested positive after Budds Creek National. So I was told that to be able to come back to the race that following weekend, I needed to get a negative test. I said, okay, I'm fair. In the middle of what's that?
I would say that's fair too.
Yeah, I get it. I don't. We want to try and keep people safe, and there again, because of my personal choice, I understand why they want to make sure everyone is good before they go, because that would be one of the few things that would ruin the series or the TV production, is to lose a bunch of people who test positive, whether they're hospitalized or not. You're not going to be allowed to, show face. So I said, no problem. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it done, in the next few hours. I'm in the middle of nowhere, but the ride ends this evening, or later today, and I said I'll try and find somewhere where maybe I can get a rapid test so we know the answer sooner rather than later. I was able to find out that the place up the street from me does rapid testing, so I made an appointment for Thursday morning. So I flew home Wednesday evening. Thursday morning, I was, unpacking from that trip and then packing for this new trip, because I was flying Thursday because they had the, the Future Stars, I forget exactly what they called it again, but on Friday, yeah. So they had asked me if I would donate my time to work with these kids and do some coaching. So I said, yeah, no problem. So I actually posted about that Thursday morning saying, looking forward to working with the next generation tomorrow at Ironman. And one of the people involved in the TV production called me and said, oh, are you still coming out for that? And I was like, yeah, why? And then that's when the gentleman was like, well, haven't you heard? I said, heard what? You're being replaced for the weekend. I was like, what? And it's like, I don't want to step out of line and say something maybe I shouldn't, but that was what I was told in I don't know if it was I think it was a Zoom meeting or a conference call.
And who was this guy that said that to you? Was he with NBC or he was with the TV crew? Like what?
It was the producer.
Okay.
And so there again, half the time I don't know who's contracted by who. So he could be contracted by Lucas, by NBC.
Right. I mean, MX Sports, Lucas, NBC, the production company itself.
Yeah. Because people, Lucas Oil, yes, might be the title sponsor, but what they basically bring to the table is they produce the series. They hire the cameramen, they set up, they're the rolling circus that brings it to TV. And then NBC and MX Sports have an agreement. I think MX Sports, if I'm not mistaken, I don't believe they receive money from Lucas. Lucas just produces a series. I don't know if that means anything, but anyway, that's what my understanding is. But NBC has a contract with Lucas. They either pay them for the footage or whatever their agreement is. So that's why at times it does get a little confusing, because when decisions are made, you don't even know who to call half the time, because everyone's doing this. No, he made the call. He made the call. So I had, after that phone call, I was thinking, well, that's really strange. But then after the call the previous day saying I needed this negative test, I think, the alarm bell started going off that, something's going on. Well, I went and had my test, and it takes a few minutes before they notify you. So I'd come home, and by this point, I'm like, I got to find out what's going on. I got to head out to the airport here shortly. So I ended up calling a few people that I thought were involved, and nobody answered their phone. So then I'm sitting there going, well, I'm just going to send a group text and say, basically, like, I'm hearing rumors, because then I heard a rumor that came from a whole different part of the equation, from someone that wasn't even involved in the series. And I was thinking, I feel like everybody but me knows about this decision. So I sent a group text basically saying, like, hey guys, I'm hearing rumors that I'm being replaced. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm about to have to go to the airport.
Yeah.
It's somebody me right now. Yeah.
And then eventually I got a phone call, and I don't want to mention names because I feel like sometimes people will get a ton of hate mail. So I'll just say I got a call from the Lucas Oil production team that, and it frustrated me the way they tried to slice it. They're like, yeah, you're not going to be able to come because you were exposed. I said, well, that's funny because everyone else that was exposed is going. It's because I'm not vaccinated. No, it's because you were exposed. I'm like, you can slice this how you want, but everyone else that was exposed who was vaccinated can go. I cannot. So I was, to be perfectly honest, I was pissed off at how I had to find out that I was calling and texting, reaching out, that no one had just the decency to at least be upfront and honest about it. Like, that's the big thing that really bugged me. And I was sitting there, and I remember just feeling like my blood was boiling, and I couldn't put my finger on it exactly. And I still thought, I know what it is. Anyone that's suspended from a workplace usually did something wrong. Am I right? Like, if you're told you can't come to work, it's usually you did something wrong. Now, in this case, I'm sitting there going, I can't go to the race because they've just decided that I was exposed, even though I would argue that point 110% because I wasn't anywhere near anyone that actually had COVID. I only came into contact with the only people I really need to, which was about 4 people total. So, that was the other part that I'm going, I know I don't have it. I've just got my test back saying negative. I wasn't around those people, and I've been told to stay home. And it was almost like, it's not a big deal, Grant. Like, just deal with it. It's just one race. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough. But something just inside me said, this is the start of something bigger. Like, I see the slippery slope, and I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to be told. I don't want to be sitting here going, am I going? Am I not? Am I going to be told to stay home? Am I going to be told I need the vaccine? Am I going to be told, Yeah. It's one thing to say, oh, the vaccine, it's not mandatory, but punishing people for not having it, what are you doing? So indirectly, you're sort of holding a gun to people's head to go and get the vaccine. And, I just, at that moment, I thought, you know what? This is not what I signed up for, and it just didn't sit well. And some people might think I overreacted. And I think a lot of people were proud of me for going, you know what? Screw you guys, I'm out. If you don't want me there this weekend, then I don't want to be there, period. So I just made the decision. I said, you know what? If I'm going to be suspended before the end of the season for doing nothing wrong, my heart's not in it anymore. Go find someone else. And, I just texted everyone involved and said, I've been sitting here, pretty frustrated.
Well, there you have it. Quick, concise, what went down. It's actually 45 minutes. Ping and Grant Langston can release all of it if they'd like. I just wanted to get a little bit out to get his point across. And I'm going to share my 2 cents. Not that we give a shit, but my 2 cents is this was planned. If I'm reading in between the lines, between the names that were not mentioned, it sounds as if they wanted to kick somebody off the island so you don't tell the guy you're kicking off that everyone is in agreement that we're kicking you off. You try to find an excuse as to why to kick you off. Sounds very political to me. Wherever there's money, there's going to be politics. I hear it all the time. People say there's no politics in racing and it shouldn't be there. It's there. It's always been there. It will continue to be there. This, to me, was an excuse to replace him. Plain and simple. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Till next time, this is Johnny F. and Hopper. And my baby's sleeping again, and I think I just woke her up because I'm being loud. So we're going to bog it out. Whoa. It's not as much fun. It's real shitty to bog it out. Whoa. Da 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 da. That's all I got for you guys.